What's up, everybody? Welcome to Buzzworthy TV, and I'm your girl, Lady T. And tonight, I'm just laying in the bed chilling, and I just wanted to come to y'all and talk to you about this new show called From the Bottom Up. And if y'all did not watch tonight's premiere episode, please catch up, get into it. It is a really good show. And I think I'm up for it because, let me tell you, this show was so freaking real. And that's what I've been missing in my reality TV. So, the real in reality. You know what I mean? It seems like everything has become so contrived and so scripted. Everybody turning up for the camera. Instead of like back in the day when we had like real world making the band, when it first came out, like the season that Sarah Stokes was on. Being Bobby Brown. I mean, back in the day, some of that stuff was contrived, but it had a realness to it. Not everything is just so scripted, filled with a whole bunch of, bad actors or wannabe actors or people that's been in the business. And it's just like, and I mean, I still watch it. I'm still here for it, but this is just refreshing. So, let's get into the episode. I will say this. The only gripe I have about this show is that it's only a half an hour. I mean, we get all these bull crap shows that's getting picked up and they on for an hour. And I'm just so mad because I just feel like this show, what they're addressing, this should definitely be an hour show. So anyway, let's get into it. So, the premise of From the Bottom Up, it focuses on 5 women who were at the top of their game and tragedy struck and they all found their way, some form or another, in jail and having legal issues. And now they trying to fight their way from the bottom up. So, okay, so let's get into the characters, because this episode really was just introducing the characters and talking about their stories. Okay, so let's get started with Crystal Wilson. Y'all might know her from Ronnie on the Players Club. And I was like, there go Ronnie! Wow. Let me tell you. So Ronnie got into it with somebody at Freaknik. Really, what happened was she was leaving Freaknik and somebody had told me, I think it was on Twitter, they haven't had a Freaknik since like 98 or whatever. But however the case. So, she was leaving Freaknik. This guy came up to her, cussing at her, grabbing on her. And she has a license to carry a gun. So, she pulled the gun out to get him away from her. She shot some some warning shots or whatever. And the guy was like, oh, hell no. So then he pulled out his gun, and when she saw he pulled out his gun, then she shot him. She didn't shoot to kill, but she shot him because she didn't want him to, shoot at her first. So, of course, she got sent to jail for attempted murder. I think she got off because, they said it was self-defense or however. However, that's where she's at in her life. And then we got Christine Beatty. My girl, Christine Beatty. Now, let me tell you, I know this made national headlines, this story with her and Kwame Kilpatrick, but it was nothing like how all that stuff unfolded here in Detroit, y'all. And the D, that's all we talked about was this whole scandal with Kwame and Christine Beatty and the text messages where, the feds was getting involved and she was texting him like, I'm scared we gonna get caught. And he like, damn that. I'm like, dang, Kwame, you quite cocky, ain't you? So yeah, he was like, damn that, we gonna be all right. Yeah, listen to Kwame's ass she spent 3 months in jail. She got 2 felonies for perjury because they had an affair. Her and Kwame did, and she lied on the stand about their relationship. So, she moved to Atlanta to, start her life over. And then we got Stacy J. Johnson. Now, Stacy J. Johnson actually started out as an actress. She was in a Feline Between Love and Hate. She played Peaches. She had guest star roles on like The Fresh Prince and all that other stuff. But her mother had passed, and her mama said, promise me that you're going to get your life together. I guess she didn't feel like, doing the acting thing was really worthwhile. So, Stacy, trying to other her mother, she steps away from acting and becomes one of the biggest fundraisers for politicians in Atlanta. Like, she's a political fundraiser, one of the biggest political fundraisers in Atlanta. And she had got a DUI. So, matter of fact, they gave her like 7 tickets. So yeah, I think she got some underlying drinking problems but we'll get into that in a minute. And then we got Kim Smedley. Kim Smedley was a Atlanta-based cosmetologist who was doing butt injections, black market butt injections, like in people's basements, going to people's houses, and just shoot them up with silicone. And she said on camera, people still calling me to do butt injections, and I get tempted every day. I'm like, ooh, the money must be nice. Well, matter of fact, she said that she was making like $1.3 million one year. So I'm like, yeah, the money must be nice. So anyway, of course everybody introduced themselves and tell their little background or whatever. All the girls, because I'm gonna get to Sarah in a minute, but we got Crystal, Christine, Stacy, and Kim. They meet up at this restaurant in Atlanta, and they all share their stories. Now, Crystal and Stacy knew each other from back in the day when Stacy used to be an actress. And also, they're both live in Atlanta. They're both from Atlanta. They're both, in the Atlanta circle. Anyway, so they're all, sharing their stories. And Kim Smedley, when Stacy tells her story, she thinks something is up. She's like, you don't get 7 tickets just for nothing. Because basically Stacy was like, she was speeding, and then the cops pulled her over and just giving her all sorts of tickets. And Kim ain't buying it. And it's so funny because Stacy is starting to rub people the wrong way, because everybody is telling their stories and she keep interrupting them and everything. And matter of fact, when Christine Beatty was talking about her and Kwame Kilpatrick's, affair, Stacy was like, I didn't know that story. And Crystal had to tell her, well, maybe if you would be so busy talking, maybe you would have heard the story. So anyway, they all, like I said, share their stories. And Christine says, you know what? I got a friend from Detroit. She just getting out of a bad situation. I think she would benefit from our circle, just us encouraging each other and everything of that nature. So she gets on the phone and calls Sarah Stokes. Now, y'all, let me sit up for this. Because this Sarah Stokes story, now mind you, it's a 30-minute show. And Sarah Stokes took up 15 minutes of it. Okay, so when we get to Sarah Stokes, she's still in Detroit, and they show her coming out of jail, out of prison, okay? She's been in prison for 90 days because her and her husband were fighting. And she got charged with domestic assault because I guess she had got the better of him that time. And also, it had been drinking involved, and I think she had already had, DUI charges and stuff of that nature. I mean, she didn't say this in the confessional, but I followed this whole Sarah Stokes story again. She's from Detroit. My auntie used to do her hair. The barber at my auntie's shop used to cut Toni hair. I could tell y'all some stories. So I kind of know a little bit more to this story. So anyway, so she's coming out of jail, and then you got Toni and the kids. Toni like, I brought the kids to the jail to see you, and all this other stuff. And basically, Sarah's over it. She done spent 2.5 months in jail, and I guess it gave her some time to reflect, because she's just over her and Toni's situation. She loves Toni, but her thing is this. Her thing is, we're just toxic to each other. We love each other true enough, but we're no good for each other. And let me tell you, Sarah, I'm here for what you're saying, because you can love somebody, but that don't mean that y'all are good for each other. And sometimes it's just good to walk away. And so he like, so what you want to do? She was like, you served me divorce papers in jail. So what you mean what I want to do? You already done it. Let's just follow through with the shit. And her daughter, she look about like 15 or about 15, 16 years old. She's like, with God, you guys can get through anything. And, and I was like, aw. And she's like, you guys been together 18 years. You just don't throw 18 years away. And her mother's trying to explain to her, like, me and your dad, we toxic. And, it's just been 18 years of just, a whole bunch of BS. And I don't want y'all seeing me like this. This is not the life that I wanted for y'all or whatever. So fast forward a couple of days later, Sarah's staying at a hotel. She was actually staying at a hotel down the street from me. So she's staying at a hotel, and her kids come see her at the hotel, and basically they're asking her to come home. And she's like, I just need to get my mind right. I just need to figure out what I want to do. Toni comes in, and basically, here's the thing. He's like, look, okay, I might not be the best person, because when she came out of jail, she told him, like, look, you done sabotaged a whole lot of shit. And let me tell you, he has. And I'm not saying he's a totally bad guy, because he has tried to put her on. He was her biggest supporter. He would come into the shop and tell everybody what Sarah trying to do, what she got going on, all that. But he has sabotaged a lot of her shit too, because he comes off very controlling. Like, when you got meetings with record execs and people that want to manage you and take your career to the next level, you don't need nobody's interference and try to tell them how to do their job. And that's what Toni does. He thinks he know everything, and he don't let, the people who got the money, the people who got the connects, let them do their job. He want to be in control of everything. And so it has hindered Sarah from doing what she need to do. So anyway, basically, he was like, man, I ain't been perfect, but I have done a lot. I've done some good things. And he was like, and plus, he was like, you ain't been perfect. He asked her in front of everybody, the cameras, the kids, they son. He said, I forgot the boy's name. It's so-and-so our son. And she was like, that's a low blow. And I'm like, there's some backstory back there, because she ain't denied. She was just like, it's a low blow. So, it's some things about that he brings up, that, she cheated on him and all the stuff. But like she said, she was like, you cheated on me, 1,000,000 times more than I've cheated on you. So what are you talking about? And, I think the thing what happened was, they are just in a very dysfunctional relationship. I think that Toni, he has put his hands on her, but she done put his hands on him. I think that they just be fighting. I don't think he just straight up beat her ass. And I don't think she just straight up beat his ass. I think they go toe to toe. They get to fighting. and it gets out of hand. Matter of fact, honestly, I think they get to drink and then fight. I think they both got drinking problems. I think they both got problems with fidelity, and I think that's why she's like, you know what? I need to get my mind right. I can't keep doing this. I gotta, do what I need to be doing to get, a better life for my children, get my career off the ground, because she's lost a lot of opportunities, not only because of Tony, but because of their relationship. And I'm not just talking about him interfering. I'm talking about her just being sucked into the drinking, the cheating, the fighting. Like, when you doing all that, you don't got time to be in those studios. You don't got time to reach out to the connections that you made when you were with Diddy and all that. You don't got time to make, to do walkthroughs and make bookings, make personal appearances. Like, come on. Like, Sarah, I really hope that you take this opportunity and run with it, because she really had a following. Like, when Making the Band was out, she had a following. Even after the show ended after 3 seasons, people were still trying to book her for club appearances and everything, and all of a sudden it just fell off. All you hear is her going back and forth to jail. So, she tells Tony and the kids that she needs to, like, focus on her. She tells Tony that, hey, they need to take a break. So maybe they should go through with the divorce. And she tell her kids she's always there for them. She love them. And she got to get her mind right and just go after her dreams so she can create a better life for them. And so she go head to Atlanta. And that's when we go see her next episode. She's going to go to Atlanta. Because Christine Beatty done called her and say, hey, I think you would benefit for being in Atlanta for a while, get to know these girls, we can help each other, get back on our grind. And then plus, it's a lot going on in Atlanta that, she could, record companies, managers, production companies, everything. She just need to get, in the mix. So that's where we at. So y'all, please check out From the Bottom Up. It is a really good show. Like I said, the only problem I got is that it's a half an hour. But anyway, y'all, please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and love.